So let's draw up the cabinet to start with. For this stuff, it needs to be pretty rough. Try and get my 3D drawing going. So that's the overview of the shape. How many shelves have you got in this? 2 shelves. So, and they're about equal. All right, and is there a back to it? All right, this is where my sketch is a little bit out. Leave that one. And the back there? Yeah. All right. So even though the sketch is really rough, now I'm going to draw in a bit of the detail, right? So we've got one side, this is going to be the other side, bottom, 1 shelf, 2 shelf, a top bit, and a back bit. Just give it a little bit more detail so it sort of looks 3D-ish. Take those out. Yeah. So does that look pretty close to what your cabinet is going to be? Yeah. Okay, dimensions. What sort of dimensions are they? 400 by 600? Yeah. How high? 800. So the gaps are going to be 200, 200, 200. So now that we've got some overall dimensions about what this thing's looking like, we can start to actually look at all the individual bits that are going to be part of it. So let's use a different colour. I'll use black. So we've got the base, shelf number 1, shelf number 2 or 3, a top. We've got a side over here, a side here, and a back. Have I got all the bits that you think you need to make up this shape? I think I have, except for a base of a foot. All right, we're going to put on a foot to lift it off the ground. So we'll talk about the foot later. Okay, so we've got 7 pieces and we need to work out how we're going to cut this. Have you sorted out what material you want to use? Okay, so we're going to start with particle board to start with. So particle board normally comes in sheets 1200 by 2400 by 16, and it's about $62 a sheet. Right, you guys can find the actual cost per sheet on there. What we've got here is we've got a base and 2 shelves that look like they're going to be identical. Do you reckon the sizes of them are going to be the same? Right, so let's go number 1, number 2, and number 3 might be the same. They're going to be on the inside of the sides. Do you reckon number 4 will be the same size as what those are? All right, so let's do that just for the moment. And that is going to be, look at our dimensions, it's 400 by 600. Right, what else have we got? The 2 sides, 5 and 6. What size are the sides? From the dimensions that I have up there, what size are the sides do you reckon? I wrote the 200s here. 246 by 400. All right, so straight away, this design is actually way easier than what we imagined. So they're 400 by 600. And then number 7, which is the back. How big's the back? 800 by 600, great. So that straight away starts to give you an idea about all of the bits and pieces. What we can do though is simplify it even further. While you will be cutting your housing joints in the sides for your shelves and tops to fit in, you're going to make them differently, but you're going to be cutting them the same size, all right? So we're going to have 5 and 6 here. That gets rid of that. So in the end, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces that are going to be 400 by 600. And we've got one piece that's going to be 800 by 600. Now the trick here is, because we're cutting those out of a sheet, how you work out the value of it, or the price of it, is it's by area. So we work out the price per metre squared of 1200 by 2400. Has somebody got a calculator there? So has somebody got an Excel spreadsheet? Something, please. Anybody?
Everyone has computers, so everyone has calculators. Search it up for it quick.
What do you want?
1.2 times 2.4.
2.88.
All right, so let's capture that number. So that's 2.88 metres squared. And we want how much per metre squared? So we're after a price per metre squared. So 62 divided by 2.88. $21.5. 21.5?
5.2.
Okay, so what we've worked out is, from the sheet that we have, for every square metre of it, it costs $21.52 per square metre. So now what we've got to work out is how much of a square metre is that? So again, can you calculate 0.4 times 0.6?
0.24.
Whoops. Times by 6?
1.44.
All right, and then can you do 0.8 times 0.6?
0.48.
All right. And there's only one of them. And then adding the two together, 1.44 plus 0.48 equals 1.92 metres squared. 1.92 metres squared times by 21.52.
Oh,
No one else has got the calculator out. It's up to you.
what is it? 21.
21.52 times by 1.92.
41.32.
Can you read it out again, please?
41.32.
All right. So the total cost for that, we've broken it apart. We've looked at each of the pieces. We've worked out the size of those, converted it to metre squared because it's a panel that we're getting it from. And we've added them together, and the final price for it's going to be $41. The main as you can see, this backboard, 800 by 600, right? So that's that big by that wide. That's actually quite expensive for that one piece. So at the moment, if that price is good for you, that'll be great. If you want to reconsider how you put the back on, and that this back bit is just a bit of wood there and you attach it some other way, that's where your design comes in, and that'll help bring your price down. But that's how you work out the price for a cabinet using sheets.